What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe class Alchemist Prime, one of the 13 original primes. I believe number 6, sort of right in the middle of 13, right? It'd be 6 or 7 would be right in the middle. And Alchemist Prime, a little bit of lore is that I believe that he's also technically known in like the Cyberverse continuity as Mac Adam. And the rumor is that he was one of the 13 that survived the war between Primus and Unicron, and also now just works as a bartender under the guise of Mac Adam, not actually revealing himself to be Alchemist Prime. But his unique artifact, as you'll see in this review, are going to be his lenses, which not only could sort of see like the elemental and sort of scientific makeups of elements and things, but at the same time, I believe that he could see like through your spark. He could essentially see the spiritual side of everything. And him being the 6th prime, I think the primes that were like 5, 6, 7, so sort of right in the middle of all of their creations, sort of very neutral primes that they sort of befriended people from befriended primes from both ends of the spectrum. So the first primes and the last primes. So when they were doing the war, when they were planning on how to beat Unicron, Alchemist was one of the primes, I believe, to have said that he thinks that there would be an issue if they were to completely destroy Unicron, and he was one of the primes that tried to find a way to put Unicron more into stasis rather than completely kill him and destroy him. And he also actually befriended Megatronus, so him and Megatronus actually got along. But regardless, with all that lore out of the way, getting into the box here, you can see the very nice Transformers Age of the Primes. You can see Alchemist Prime right there. You can also see the very nice artwork there of Alchemist on the side with his robot mode as well as his vehicle mode. Transforms in 17 steps. More nice artwork here of Alchemist on the side. More nice artwork here of some of the 13 primes that we can see as well. Very looking forward to Amalgamus. I'm looking forward to Onyx. I'm looking forward to Quintus, all the ones that were sort of... Onyx comes out next, and then I believe it's Onyx and Micronus come out next. And then I believe we are going for, was it Quintus and Amalgamus after that. So, nice product shots on the back as per usual. Transformed in 17 steps, and there are your lenses that he has. Very interested again to see what sort of thing that Hasbro has planned for us to make with all the 13 artifacts from the 13 primes. But regardless, I think with the box, I think they did a really pretty good job as per usual. And so without further ado, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Alchemist Prime in his vehicle mode. I think I'd say for a character that I don't really think has had like a genuine like cool vehicle mode, or like a genuine vehicle mode that's really been represented all that much, I think it's a really solid vehicle mode. The only thing that kind of throws me off about it is the simplicity about it, because when I hear Alchemist, I think of something like very cyberpunky in the way of like tubes sticking out of him, like all these chemicals flowing through them. Kind of like I'll put a picture of the character Warwick from League of Legends. I think of something like that where like he's got a lot of these tubes sticking out of him. I just would have preferred, sort of maybe Plague Doctor E-esque with all, tubing coming out, with all these chemicals, like this chemical tubing attached to his back. Like stuff like that. That's what I was sort of expecting with this. But we got a more simple Cybertronian sort of military Earth truck style mode here. It doesn't look bad at all. It actually looks really, really good. I'm just pointing out that I do think it's pretty simple given his name. I would have expected something a little more like that, like I described. But getting into the details, you can see he does look really, really good. This is a nice dark green color, like a foresty green. Got some nice detail here on the side with this gold and the silver. Breaks up nice. You got this nice clear plastic. Of course, everyone goes about clear plastic, but I think it looks fine here, and it has a pretty good application. Nice black around the windshield as well. Nice black here as well. You can see it goes from green to black and then green back here again. The wheels are fine. It's just one of my wheels in particular. I think it's this one. You can see it doesn't, like this, you can see how well that spins. This one doesn't spin all that well. The other one spin just fine, I think, which means him rolling is like leh. It's just that this gets stuck. In addition to that, I think the worst looking part about his vehicle mode is the back, but it honestly doesn't look all that bad. Sure, it's a bit gappy because this is where his hands go, and he actually bears very similar engineering to Siege, Earthrise, and SS-86 Ironhide, and you'll see what I mean when we get into the transformation. But overall, when it comes to his vehicle mode, I have no major issues with it, besides the rolling and besides the back a little bit. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. So, before we get into anything else, I'd like to show off the accessories, because you can peg them on here. So, he has two 5mm ports right up here on both, on either side of the top of the car, and the roof of the car. And so, taking a look at the accessories, we're going to set them there. You can see that these are the lenses. So, there's one half that has the prime symbol that he has, his unique symbol, as all the primes do. Looks really cool, has a lot of nice detail. Obviously clear plastic, but still looks really good. I really do like the blue here. Obviously matches the blue on the windshield there. And then you have the other one, which is basically the same thing, just without the prime symbol on it for him. To combine these, you can combine them very simply. So they're both halved, so very easily. You can see there's a tab hole sort of right here, and then there's a tab on the other one, and then you just sort of smush them together, and there you have your lenses. Sure, they're asymmetrical, but it looks really, really good. And an Alchemist can hold on to both of these pegs as well. And then they have these pegs on the underside, which is how I was able to peg them into the top of the vehicle mode here. But we'll set these off to the side for now. They do look really, really nice. And again, I'm very curious to see what exactly Hasbro will have us be making once we get all 13 of these guys. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to do some size comparisons. I'm actually going to zoom out a bit, because when it comes to Alchemist here, he is a bit smaller of a character. There we go. He's a bit smaller of a character. And obviously, one of the things I'm going to be doing with all of these primes, and I should have done this when I did Megatronus, or when I did, not Megatronus, when I did the Star Optimus Prime, I should have absolutely brought in all the primes. And from now on, all the current primes that we have that are released, I will be bringing them out to compare them, because it just makes sense, right? You want to see how all of these guys look alongside each other. And so, without further ado, let's do our size comparisons. So first up, we have the Transformers Legacy United and Furnac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. This is my default comparison. As you can see, in terms of average deluxe size, he is average deluxe size. These two are about the same size. Sure, Alchemist is a little bit taller, but overall, when it comes to the sizing, you have a rather average deluxe size deluxe with Alchemist in and of itself, and I can't complain about that. Next, we have Transformers Age of the Primes, Deluxe Class Solus Prime. These two look really, really nice together, and it's cool to see, like, the contrast in the fact that they're all one group, but they're all so unique as well. And so, the one thing about the Primes I love is how distinct each of their characters are, because when you compare these guys to Onyx, for example, they're complete, like, he is by far the most unique prime of the 13 that we're getting, at least right now, right? Amalgamus is going to be up there as well. I think Amalgamus will definitely take that spot. But for of the figures that have been currently released, and I know Onyx, I still haven't gotten Onyx. There's a few reviewers who have gotten Onyx in the mail and stuff like that. I haven't been able to get Onyx at all, but regardless, it's really cool to see the contrast as well as sort of the same things that tie these characters together compared to one another. Transformers Age of the Primes, Voyager Class Prima Prime. Transformers Age of the Primes, Leader Class Megatronus. And finally, Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. Alrighty, folks, and time to get into the transformation. Now, the transformation for this guy is actually really simple. Like I told you, he shares a sort of the same style of engineering as Earthrise, Siege, as well as, SS-86 Ironhide. More close to Earthrise than Siege, though, and you'll see what I mean. So, first thing I like to do is you come here to the top, and then you can just split the top here, like so. You can fold these sections out, and what I like to do is you can split the arms, or, well, try to split the arms. I like to sort of push them out a little bit here, like so, and then you can get enough clearance to rotate this down and then press that there. And then you can rotate these up, then you can fully fold them out. Well, actually, you fold this down, sorry, and then fold them out. Then you rotate them around like this, and then you can tab them on like so. Then you can rotate the arm down like this so that the shoulder's facing here. Do the same thing here, so fold it down, snap that into place, rotate this around, then you can straighten the legs back out, rotate this entire section around, fold the feet out, split the legs, and then fold the knee pads or the legs back in. So you can see that whole, like this section on the back of the truck is very similar to how Ironhide would have transformed. And the last thing you have to do, or last things you have to do, put the arms down, fold the hands out, and then what you want to do is fold this out, and then you want to fold the head out. Let me bring up the camera here. There. Bring out the head. Now, the head's a little bit annoying to get up. Other than that, this transformation is really, really simple. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Alchemist Prime. in his really cool looking robot mode. Now, one thing about the transformation I'd like to talk about real quick is they show you in the instructions you're supposed to fold the fists flat, and the issue is you can see in the forearm there's that little hexagon right there, and that blocks this from being fully down. So at the end of the day, just fold it like this and don't push it because it'll give stress marks there. But overall, this guy looks really, really cool. I really do like how he looks in his robot mode. Again, he's pretty simple, but really, I think the star of his look is that head sculpt. So taking a look at the head sculpt, you can see it's so cool. He has those lenses. He has this mustache, the silver for the face, the black around the lenses, and the blue for the eyes. You can see the unique head shape too. He just looks really, really cool. I really do like how this character looks in terms of his face sculpt. And then coming down here, he's got some nice detail. You got this nice sort of gold, this very brushed gold. Nice green, black here, silver for this part of his chest. Here where his nipples would be, right? You have these nice gold bits as well. Down here to the crotch as well. He just looks really nice. And despite him being a chunky lad, I really do like how he looks. And then when you spin him around, there's nothing. I mean, there's no backpack at all. All you have is this part, and it's perfectly fine. He just really cleans up very, very well. And there's very little hollow spaces except for in his arms here. So you can see there's a lot of hollowness in his arms for the most part. But overall, that's a minor complaint at the end of the day, and I'm really, really happy with how this guy looks overall. He's a really, really cool looking character. So real quick before we get into the size comparisons, I'll show you the applications of this. So like I said, when you have it together like this, you can just twist his arms like this, and then you can just have him hold the lenses like so. And then he can hold them and he can raise them up and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Another application of using these is just to split them apart, and then he can just use these as weapons, sort of like bladed weapons and stuff like that. So I like to rotate it like this, and then you rotate this down like this, like that. And then now he can hold his lenses as more like daggers or something like that. Or what I like to do for the most part, you do have two 5mm ports on his arms, but on the lower one is where I like to put these, and then I like to put them blade first, and then you can just peg them in on his arms like so, and you can peg them in here again like so. And then you get yourselves just a very clean look. Now, can't really store them on the back. I mean, you have a peg there, but that's really for nothing else. But regardless, he does look really cool. I think this is just a much cleaner, very cool look for Alchemist here with these things on the side, the lenses on the side, sort of like arm blades. I think that looks really clean and really cool. So what we're going to do is we are going to be doing our size comparison. So we are going to set Alchemist off to the side here, and I'm going to move back, and we are going to raise the camera because obviously we know two of these characters, in particular Megatronus and Optimus, they are rather large characters, especially in comparison to Alchemist. So we are going to do that. So I'm going to send them off to the side here and bring in some other figures. Alrighty, Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Infernac Universe Magnus, Transformers Deluxe Class, Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Solus Prime, Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager Class Prima Prime, Transformers Age of the Primes Leader Class Megatronus, and Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. Alrighty guys, and next is his articulation, which is actually really good for how this guy looks. He looks really chunky. It looks like he wouldn't be able to move really well. He actually does. So, head's on a ball joint. You can kind of do a full 360. Well, you can. You just watch me do it. But sometimes it ends up loosening the head, and then the head ends up flying off, and you can see it. You can feel it get untabbed. But you can look up and down. You can do a little bit of side to side. Not too much up, I guess. More down than anything else. Full 360 at the shoulder. You can go out. You can go in. Rotation at the upper part of the bicep. And then you have about 90 at the elbow. No wrist, though. You do have full waist, as you saw with the transformation. When you do have full waist, you can kick forward. You can kick back. 90 at the knee, and then you have a wicked ankle rocker pivot. So surprisingly, you probably saw this in the short. If you watch the short, this guy can actually pose really, really well. I'm very, very happy, despite his chunkiness, that he can pose as well as he does. And so overall, I'm pretty happy with him, and I think the articulation is really, really good. Alrighty folks, and it's time to get into the reverse transformation. And in reality, it's pretty simple just going back, just as simple as it was going to robot mode. So, first thing I like to do is to obviously remove the lenses, and then you can straighten his legs out. I like to fold out these bits, the legs as a whole, then you can rotate these up, and then I like to peg them together right away, like this. Straighten the arms out, like this. Then you can fold these. The one issue I will have is sometimes when I'm doing the back of the chest, so I also just do this next. What I like to do here is you can just keep this sort of here for now, just so that it's up and around. Whenever I untab the arms like we're doing right now, and then I rotate these around, sometimes this joint here, this is a friction peg, it just comes out, and that's really annoying, but what are you going to do, I guess? We'll rotate this all the way around like so. And then what you're going to want to do is, before you push this in, we're going to do it on the other side as well, so we're going to untab that, we're going to flip this up, we're going to rotate this, then we're going to rotate this all the way around like this, and then we're going to keep it like this. You want to fold the fist down as much as they can, then just keep it all like this. Then you want to take this, rotate this all the way around, and then bend the legs down. And then from here you can take the head, fold that in like so. Then from here what I like to do is you finally push these together, and then you tab the arms together at 2 points. So you tab it there at the bottom. Come on. It's not hard. Like that, and then tab that together as well. And then what you can do is you'll see that there are tabs right there on either side, and you want to rotate this up so that they get covered and they're snapped into place. Then make sure the arms are together nicely. Oh, come on. There we go. I don't know why, of course, and whenever I do this on camera is when the figure gives me a hard time. Then you can just push the arms down, push these up, tab those into place. Then from here, what I like to do is you push this under like so, or what? Come on, push this under like that. Then to finish off the look, I like to always just tab these on the top. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Alchemist Prime back in his Cybertronian military truck mode. Alrighty folks, so for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Alchemist Prime, this guy is really, really good. This is a figure that genuinely surprised me, because this is a figure I wasn't necessarily not looking forward to. Of course I was looking forward to, because it's one of the 13, but it was a figure I wasn't so enamored by at all. But having this guy in hand and messing around with him for the last few days, this guy's really, really fun, and I really enjoy him. The only issues I really have, one of the wheels doesn't work all that well, the back of the truck mode doesn't look all that great. In addition, I was expecting a little bit more in terms of the vehicle mode. It's not that it looks bad, it's just given his name I was expecting like tubes sticking out or something like that. I don't know, I was just expecting something like that, right? That's initially what I was expecting. But other than that, the vehicle mode feels really solid. It's really well painted. It's got a lot of nice molded in detail. The transformation, while very similar to Ironhide, does not share any direct engineering with Ironhide, obviously, but it feels really good. Very simple to get this guy in and out of his vehicle mode and his robot mode. His artifact also looks really, really good, and I do like the multiple different ways that you can integrate it, whether those are hand weapons, whether you can use them as just the lenses, or in addition to that, whether you can use them as sort of like arm blades. It's really, really cool. Also, I think this guy has a really amazing looking head sculpt. The robot mode, despite being chunky, has a lot of good character to him. The head sculpt is absolutely gorgeous and amazing. And in addition to that, his articulation is really, really good. And this guy, despite his chunkiness, can pose very, very well. And so out of a 10, I'm going to give this guy a 9, and I would highly recommend picking this guy up. He's a really, really good deluxe figure, and he's going to go along really, really well with all of the other primes as well. And so, I did pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll leave a link in the description to that. Also leave links down below to Hasbro Pulse as well as Amazon, so you guys can go pick them up on those retailers if you do wish to use those instead of Big Bad Toy Store. In addition to that, I know that for some reason in Canada this guy has been hitting even way before I've done this review, just because they screwed up waves, I guess, or something like that, so be on the lookout in Canada. Here in the US, I assume that you're going to be getting him relatively soon. If not, certain places definitely have him now, just due to the fact that, well, I got him in the mail, so I assume that some of those figures will also be going out to your local retailers as well, so definitely be on the lookout, and I wish you the best of luck in finding this guy IRL if you wish to do so. And so, I think that's really it. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and also follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.